It has been 40 years since a Fort Smith teenager was found murdered, and today police are no closer to an arrest. Tonight, in a 5 News original, a look back on the case of 14-year-old Leslie Dawn Haag. It was November 1st, 1985. Leslie Dawn Haag begged her mother to let her go for a short walk near her home. That was the last time she was seen alive. 10 years ago, we spoke with her father, Fred Haag.
They cheated me out of so much, it's pitiful. Didn't get to see her graduate, didn't see her married, no grandkids, no nothing. 14 years old.
Fred Haag has since died, but Leslie's brother-in-law, Patrick Fite, says he's doing all he can to keep her memory alive.
She was kind, sweet, lovable, naive, young. Just a great girl. She was just everything. She was very pure and innocent.
Leslie's body was found here at Bailey Hill Reservoir in South Fort Smith. She had been strangled to death, the killer using shoelaces from her own shoes. There was also an unopened 6-pack of beer next to her body. Things have obviously changed here over the years at Bailey Hill. What hasn't changed is the effort by police to find her killers. Everything Fort Smith police developed with this case over the years is stored at the department along with other cold case files. The case has had several detectives assigned to it and is still an active investigation. Chris Boyd Sr. and J.C. Ryder were detectives in the Major Crimes Unit of the police department. They were assigned the case in the late 80s as the first major case for that unit.
In 1985, we didn't have the forensic capability we have today. The capabilities we have today are just phenomenal compared to the 80s. You know, about the best thing you could hope for in the 80s was fingerprints or eyewitnesses. That's about the best you could hope for. So I think the original investigators were hampered in that respect.
It was just a sad story, as these type cases always are. And it had been cold for, like I say, 3 to 4 years at that time. We took and re-examined every aspect of the case.
Even today, both still get together now and then and talk about this case.
Sometimes just talking about cases that you worked, that you no longer are a member of the police department, but you still have friends there. Sometimes you never know what's going to happen with a case.
We try and go over everything that we could have missed, did miss. We try and recover everything that we did. What the heck did we do wrong?
In the meantime, Fite says he believes DNA testing is now the answer.
We've got to do some DNA testing. We got to do some state-of-the-art. There's way too many cases being solved at this point in America for hers not to get some attention to try to be solved. I mean, that just doesn't pass common sense to me.
Now, as Leslie's family searches for answers 40 years later, so do these detectives, retired but still invested in this case.
There's nothing I'd like more than to see these cases solved like this. Chris and I and the rest of the Major Crimes Unit voted, I mean, just hours and hours and hours of our own time, and in addition to working for the police department, to trying to solve cases like this.
I just want accountability for the person that did it, whether the person's alive, whether the person's deceased. I just want accountability for that to come up, and if that person's alive, I want justice.
Now, since this is still an active case, if you have any information about this, please call Fort Smith Police or Crime Stoppers at 78-CRIME.